Hello. Are you feeling something new emerging? Are you changing and you're not sure what's going on? Well, I have couple of clues here. One clue is that Uranus is about to step into Gemini, and that is a brand new energy that we have not had for, the last many, many years. And Uranus has been in Taurus since um, 2018. And now he's going to move to the next sign, which is Gemini, and he's going to do that on 7/7. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. My name is Renee Varnador, and this is Soul Portal Journeys. And welcome. If you haven't been here before, I am a galactic anchor. So I like anchoring in like the planets, what the sun and the moon are doing, because when the sun and the moon are new or full, it kind of sets everything else in a pattern. So sets the container. The new moon sets the container. But I'm also going to be talking about the full moon, which is happening on July 10th. So we've got the full moon where everything gets illuminated. When I do a meditation with a group that I hold in ceremony, and I would love to invite you to that, check out that group. I will put the link in the show notes below. But what we do is profound meditations so that all of the energies that are here supporting us as we go through change, they're here supporting us. The sun, the moon, the planets, the stars. I'm going to talk a little bit about a couple of stars, and even nebula. We're going to talk about how the Lyra Ring Nebula clicks into all of this that's coming up. So why do I say we're going to be resolving polarity? Well, if you still watch or read the news, you know that there's a lot of polarized ideas thrown out there all over the world. And so every time there's a full moon, there is a chance to resolve another set of polarities within the signs of the zodiac. So, for instance, the full moon that we're having on the 10th is in Capricorn, which is an earth sign, which is full of earth mastery. And I know it, and I've got this, and I'm in my power, and all of that. And the sun, as you may know, is right now in Cancer. And Cancer is all about feelings. So while the sun is in Cancer, you may have been feeling more emotional, with more things coming up, more likely to go into tears, more likely to be in overwhelm, especially if you're going through a lot of changes. Now, I'm going through a lot of changes right now. We just left our house of 7 years in Baja California, Mexico, and we are now living in Puebla, Mexico. So we're loving it so far, but it's a lot of change. A lot came up when we were saying goodbye. A lot came up as we're moving in and buying things for the new place. And my husband and I have never been more harmonious than we are right now. And this is like a miracle of change. So not only did we change locations of where we live, but we also changed um, the relationship dynamic has grown. One of us would go into overwhelm, the other one would be supportive, and the criticism has been resolved. The not feeling supported has been resolved. So there's a lot of really beautiful things happening under this energy. So I'm curious, what is happening for you? What is new for you at this time where Uranus is going to be moving signs? So this is the chart for when the moment that Uranus enters Gemini. And so this is a moment that is going to um, suggest what Uranus may be doing in Gemini. So if you're not familiar, Uranus is unexpected change and new things. And it's like if you're the change that you're expecting, like I was expecting to move. What I didn't expect was the improvement. I mean, not that my husband and I have always gotten along well, but the little this is and that. And this has been like so amazing in our relationship. We started singing an old Beach Boys song in the Walmart here, which is actually much fancier than the Walmarts in the United States. And it was just like this old Beach Boys song was, wouldn't it be nice if we were, grown up or whatever. And we realized that we're living that dream of owning our own home and being together with and making it all beautiful with somebody that you love deeply. So there were tears in the Walmart. Well, not major tears, but little tear ups in the Walmart. So that was nice. That was really nice. But what's happening with this chart and what might so this is Uranus. If you can't see my cursor, there's a little gold star here, and Uranus is in royal blue here at 0 degrees 00 Gemini. Now Gemini is this lots of study, lots of different perspectives. And Gemini really helps us be able to resolve those polarities and those polarities that we're seeing in the outer world are ones that we can resolve best, in my opinion, by feeling the resolution within our own hearts, within our own inner landscape, within there's like this whole world that opens up when your heart is open and you're feeling clear all the way down and you're feeling aligned and you're feeling centered. Then we can do the business of resolving the polarities that we've always felt within. So the more we each individually resolve those polarities within us, the more the outer reflection of what we're seeing happening in the world is going to improve immeasurably. And we could use that right now. So what this conflict and these polarities are doing right now is driving people to look within. They get fed up with everything that's going on around them and looking within and being able to open their hearts to the people that have the opposite point of view, to get unstuck from our stubbornness holding a particular point of view as this is the way. These people are crazy, these people are this, that, the other thing, these people are evil. And what happens is that we see and we're projecting, everybody's projecting on each other, because here in the third dimension, we are mirrors, reflective mirrors for each other. And a lot of people haven't figured out yet that if you're busy blaming everybody, what you're actually seeing is a projection of yourself. And so, I could get angry all day long at people that have billions of dollars and want to, aren't interested in helping anybody else. But so all I can do is look at my own tendency not to be generous and not to be helpful. And as I've done that more and more, I've become more generous and I've become more um, helpful to people that don't even pay me. It's like, so of course, it's always nice to get paid. But I have a small Patreon group that's only $11.11 a month, and you get 2 ceremonies, a new moon ceremony and a full moon ceremony. But anyway, I'll link that down below. Back to this chart. There is Uranus conjunct a couple of things. You see right next to it is the star Alcyone, and Alcyone is an amazing star in the Pleiades. It's really a big star. And the energy, the movement of that starlight coming to us, giving us information and support, moves in a spiral pattern. So when we receive, at least when I receive the energy and the insight from Alcyon, I feel it coming in a spiral pattern, which, kind of makes sense because Milky Way is a spiral galaxy. And so that's not surprising, and that there are a lot of spirals in nature. Uranus is also conjunct Sedna, which is our spiritual destiny. So that's why I really want people to meditate at this time of this Uranus, um, Uranus Gemini conjunction. Uranus going into Gemini, because it's having this beautiful sense of what's next. What ideas are coming to you and what is happening next. So we've got Sedna maybe bringing in what our spiritual destiny is. That may be what is next for you. I know that that's what's next for me. When these two are getting closer and closer, I can feel it. It's kind of hard to describe, but I can feel something emerging within me that's brand new. And then Venus is right next to Sedna in this turquoise one. And Venus is this gorgeous, gorgeous goddess energy. So that's beautiful. And all of this is happening opposite the moon in Sagittarius. So this stuff, that things that are going on in Gemini, there's a trine right here, this blue line going to Pluto. And Pluto is all about transformation and transforming ideas. And Gemini is all about taking the polarities that we've been in and resolving those polarities. We have a lot of information right now coming to us with Pluto and the way that we receive information. A lot of us are stepping into AI these days, and that's great. On the level of AI has a huge level of knowledge, but it really takes our soulful self to turn this knowledge into wisdom. And so the fact that the moon is opposite this in Sagittarius, which is the sign of wisdom, really gives me a lot of hope for the next 12 years, while Uranus is in Gemini. He's going to pop in and out a little bit. And so then there's this beautiful triangle with two sextiles. So we have the trine between Pluto and Uranus. And then we have a sextile that Pluto is making to Saturn and Neptune, and same sextile, Saturn and Neptune to Uranus. So these four are our outermost planets, and they are in this beautiful flowing energy. So that gives me hope about Uranus's time in Gemini, that we will be able to resolve these polarities within us, and then that will reflect in all of our relationships and reflect in the outer world, the world around us. And it may not happen for everybody all at once, but it is opening, and it is a potentiality. And the more I feel that the planets and the stars and the deep space objects are helping and supporting us, the more ease and grace we can go through at this amazing time of change. So I was talking about the star Alcyon that is at 0 degrees Gemini, that Uranus is going to be conjunct, and you can see this beautiful, square with Alcyon going up to Maya, going to Electra, going to Merope, and then back to Alcyon. So there's this beautiful manifesting square in the sign also. So when there's manifesting squares, that's very helpful to bring in the ideas that are coming to us. Okay, so here is the chart for the full moon. And during the full moons, as we do our meditation, we ask, what is being illuminated within me now? Because if we are through a new way of being on this earth. We need to look within and create from within. We don't want to create what's been external. All of those things that are in the external world have not been working. So to just copy what happened at the fall of the Roman Empire, as some of these different countries are falling around the world, we've got this economic system and this economic system, and that political system and that political system. None of them work. Not everybody, not every being on this planet is well and happy. And so, what can we create from within our own being that is completely different than anything we've ever tried before? So, here is our new moon now. Here's Uranus over here. Certainly, it's still at 0 degrees, but it moved up to 9 minutes by the 10th when this full moon happens. So, this is the first full moon after Uranus moves into Gemini. So this is an important indicator also of what it's going to be like for 10 years while Uranus is in this sign. So again, we still have this Pluto. Pluto is in retrograde, and Pluto is now conjunct the star Altar at this point, which is really amazing. Amazing, beautiful star that helps give us courage. So a lot of times when we're setting out to accept and have faith in something completely new that we've never tried before, we need a little courage. And so that's what I mean when I'm saying that the stars are supporting us right now, if we're willing to receive and let go and surrender and say, okay, I'm going to believe that I am supported by this change. So this is over here is the moon, and the moon is in Capricorn, and it's exactly opposite the sun. They're both 18 degrees, 49 minutes, and the moon is conjunct the star Shatter. Okay, so it's this one, Sheliak. And it's also conjunct the Lyra Ring Nebula. And the Lyra Ring Nebula is this really powerful, multi-dimensional portal. And I'm going to show you a picture of that in a minute. We also have a mystic rectangle in this, which means that whatever insights you receive on the 10th, if you're meditating or journaling or doing a walk in nature, those are all beautiful ways that inspiration and new things can come in for you, and you can discover what's within you. Okay, so these stars are helping us discover and open to what's within us. So this is the opposite. So Capricorn's the one that's like their mastery, they got it all down, they're in their power. And then the sun is in Cancer. And so a lot of feelings are coming up. That's not a bad thing, because feelings need to come up to be released. So there's a lot of releasing going on. And if you yell or if you cry or if you beat on a pillow or you're just whatever you do, to have a release, I just kind of lay down and meditate and breathe up and down my chakra system and breathe in different kinds of energies and return to a center point after I felt all the feelings, all of the sadness and grief of leaving my old home and my old friend, all of the anger at little inconveniences and uncomfortabilities that happen. It comes up and it reveals a new way of being when I get to the new chapter. So I feel like we're just at the baby steps of a new chapter as Uranus steps into Gemini. And so this full moon is helping us. And it's helping us feel the feelings without judging the fact that we have feelings. We're human. The sun's in Cancer. We're going to have feelings. So how can we master our feelings is what we want to resolve. Now, we're not going to, for me, it's not like I'm going to go beat down and suppress all my emotions. That's not power. That's suppression. A lot of people think power is suppression, but, they voted for suppression. What can I tell you? They vote all over the world. People are voting for suppression. It's like, okay. But the freedom is within us. And if we can be free, no matter what's going on in the outer world, there you go. So here's the sun and the moon, and Jup- um, Jupiter is in the same sign with the sun. They're really too far apart to really be considered conjunct, but they're right next door to all of this that's playing out in Gemini. So we've got a lot of interesting stuff. So let's look at the next slide where I talk about the polarity again. This is Cancer and Capricorn. What if you could hold both your feelings and your mastery and your power at the same time? If you're in tears, if somebody makes you start crying in tears, do not lose your power over that. You do not have to. You do not have to lose your power if you are having a feeling and you're expressing it and releasing it. So, not judging that and feeling your feelings. So, there we are with that. There is Cancer right there, opposite Capricorn, power. So, next slide is this star, Sheliak, that I was talking about. And this is in the Lyra constellation, and Vega is the brightest star in the Lyra constellation. And Lyra is the harp. You can see the kind of picture that the ancient Hellenistic Greeks had of a lyre, that musical instrument. And then a Solifat is another bright star in this constellation. And between these two, about right here, is the um, Lyra Ring Nebula. So here's Sheliak, that the moon is conjunct. Here's the other point, the other star, Celiphat, and right in between them, M57, is the Lyra Ring Nebula. So we have Vega here, and Altar is the one that Pluto is conjunct right now. And this is called the Summer Triangle. And we have Deneb, which is when I saw this at the top of the Milky Way, at a dark sky city, I just felt this huge mother of creation energy, this beautiful maternal creative energy. And I've been feeling that energy, that creative energy inside of me for a while, knowing something is new, something's being birthed. Not completely sure what it is yet, but it's already showing up in my relationships. So we've got this beautiful triangle. And then you can see that Vega is right here, and then Sheliak is here, and Solifat is here. They didn't even bother to name this one. They're just calling it, you know, they're just giving it a code that it's a Lyran star. But here I'm going to show you this point right here, this M57, which is the Lyra Ring Nebula. Now, this is important because I know a lot of you have started following me when I started talking about anchoring in our multidimensionality. And if it's hard for you to do, or you still want to do that, but you haven't really connected to all of the dimensions that we have available to us now at this time, while the veils have thinned and we actually have this kind of access available, this support, being able to move from whatever dimension to whatever dimension. Like, it's really important for me that I'm in 3D, really aware and observant if I'm driving a car or cooking. So and we get to choose. If we're walking in nature, we might want to choose to tune into 2D, because we might see little forest creatures. If we really need some grounding, if things are really upsetting and we want to walk on grass, a lot of people are saying walk on grass if you're feeling like you need to ground. But we can ground all the way into the core of the earth, and when we do that, we're in the first density, this first dimensional density that is so deep that it is healing. So number one, and density is not a bad thing. A lot of times people just want to ascend all the time, but if you never descend, you never pick up and release. And every time you pick up and release things that weren't serving you in your life, there is more heights that you can reach, so that you can reach into the fourth dimension and you can see the archetypal patterns. You can reach into the fifth dimension and your heart can open with compassion for everybody, every living being on the planet, even bugs that bite me. Okay. Now, when I got to that point, I'm like, okay, maybe I'm getting something there. But then there's even higher dimensions that we talk about. And if you want to open to, not higher, they're higher, um, less dense, less density. Really, all of these, there's no hierarchy in the dimensions. But it's just, for me, it's much easier living in the fifth dimension where I have compassion for everyone on the planet than it is living in the third dimension where I'm in polarity and suffering and not understanding karma and blaming everybody else for things that are within my own self that I'm not responsible for. So that was really difficult and very karmic. And the more I step into the other dimensions, the more ease and grace I can navigate my life with, which is why I recommend a meditation on this day. And dun, 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 I have one. We're doing a full moon ceremony on July 7th, which is the day Uranus goes into Gemini and is a couple days before this full moon. And we're going to work on resolving polarity. And we're going to, in the meditation, we're bringing in Alcyon. We're bringing in the sun and the moon. We're bringing in the Lyra Nebula. So all of that happening. If you want support during times of change, um, link below. Join my Patreon group. There is a free trial right now for the next 7 days. And let's just see if you can just jump right in. I'll send you out. I send out the Zoom link to somebody I don't even know, who's never been with us before, but she got the Zoom link because she signed up for the 7 day trial. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I hope she shows up. We also have a new moon ceremony where we find out what is being birthed within me now. And that's on July 21st. And that's also in that $11.11 a month Patreon membership called Intuitives. So that's what I have for you. And I hope to, if you want to email me with questions about the membership, my email is below. If you want to see more about who I am and all the testimonials that people have written about my work, you can do that. And you can join the part of the Patreon. I have a free part of the Patreon membership too that you can just join and check out and see if that's something you even really want to do. Whether you join me or not, love and blessings to you as we go through these incredible times of change and transition. And just know that there is support, angelic support, which we didn't talk about today, but it's here. Angelic support, support from stars, and support from cosmic objects and planets and the sun and the moon. So enjoy, go watch a sunset, go walk on the beach, go walk on the grass. Just center, come back, and take responsibility for your own power and let your feelings release and express. Love and blessings. Bye bye.